The reason I started VisibleThread was based on many years of working predominantly in the US with fairly large organizations. And in those days, I was seeing a lot of content in the form of documents. And those documents would typically contain important requirements. And in many cases, people were not picking up the requirements correctly, and that would lead to scope creep, which is basically an extension of what you thought you would build. And these were especially true in situations where IT systems were at play. So I was kind of a geek in those days, back in the day when I was building systems. Where did VisibleThread come out of? The standard thing that used to happen was that people, and still does happen by the way, is that people would look at a document, an important document, a contract, a requirement specification, anything that's important that if misunderstood will have a material consequence on the business. They open up the document, as we all do, read from page 1 and, read 50, 100 pages and start to identify potential risky parts. And this is all by hand, and it takes a long time. And then you start to layer in the multiple people that need to review this same document. Technical specialists, compliance specialists, different people with different skill sets, all having to review that document. And it's all a manual process. A bunch of emails floating around with a bunch of attachments, a bunch of feedbacks coming back on email, somebody really attempting to coordinate this entire review cycle, and it was broken. The manual approach is utterly inefficient and is also a little risky because you can often miss requirements that are very important. So the genesis of VisibleThread was, let's shine an automation light. Let's look inside documents. Let's see, can we spot language indicators that infer potential risk issues? And let's speed up the review process and make it a much more efficient process and lower the risk of missing important requirements.